Now, how far will you go to heal your so-called inner child? Now, this discourse online took over social media as user at CraigVD posted on X, formerly Twitter, a blog of himself shopping for toys at a well-known toy store. On his post, he wrote, "Employed era equals healing my inner child era. The kid inside me must be so happy." Now, with 9.8 million views, Craig's video spurred mixed reactions from Filipinos online. Now, a now deactivated user at Patimbulak wrote, "Bakit kaya kapag sinabing healing my inner child, kailangan konektado sa konsumerismo?" Some psych majors on X had a field day arguing about the matter, with one user saying the inner child concept does not exist in psych literature, to which another user replied, "As a psych major, dapat alam mong hindi lahat ng mga phenomena mahanap mo sa literature." A plethora of users came in rescue for the original poster of the video, like user at 413RRE, who said, "I don't understand the discourse behind this because I would do the same if I had a job too." Parang iba ata issue niyan. Meanwhile, Miguelismo said, a friendly reminder that bullying other people for buying stuff isn't fighting consumerism. Consumerism is a culture, is an offshoot of overproduction by bureaucratic capitalism. If you want to fight consumerism, punch upward. And user at Tapebora wrote, "Buying toys to heal your inner child isn't just consumerism, it's about reclaiming joy and self-care in a world that's often inaccessible. Rather than targeting individuals for how they spend, let's focus on systems that make self-fulfillment a luxury for many." And now moving on to Paul Wimmel Crossing, who commented, "I don't know, it must feel so terrible to make a video showing how you celebrate earning your first paycheck by having the internet rip it to shreds." All right, now joining us here on the show as well to talk about toy collecting as well, and of course why we spend that much. Of course, we have Kevin Casus, who's also a toy collector. Thank you very much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so first and foremost, I'm going to be a bit guilty here kasi ako rin nagko-collect of certain things. I also spend probably more than I should. Ako, yung personal collection ko, mga football jerseys, mga soccer jerseys.
Okay.
I have really old ones.
Collection.
It's an expensive
Yeah.
collection.
Expensive one.
It's an expensive hobby. Pero Kevin, why would you spend on toys when you see that guy a while ago? Nakaka-relate ka ba? Because it's something that you really look forward to, I'm sure.
Yeah, like you said, yung mga jerseys, diba? These are your heroes. So ito, when I spend to these, it's like having a physical representation of my heroes, and it makes me happy having them.
Yeah, it makes you happy having them, I'm sure. And Mo, you actually brought a few things that make you happy.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Ito,
I mean, I will probably get a lot of hate. I'm like a child. So this post resonated with me. I don't know why people are giving him hate. Because honestly, I mean, he's just spending his money. Let the guy do whatever he wants. I don't know why people are hating on him and my bear.
But Anne, does your kid have an inner kid in your inner?
Well, she collects a lot of those anime keychains. Like when we went to Japan, we spent so much money on these anime keychains. There are these stores in Japan, right? They sell like anime stuff. I don't really know them. I'm so sorry. Because during my time, I wasn't collecting toys. Yung uso nun, yung stationery and stickers.
Yeah.
So, sorry, na-reveal yung age ko. Pero yun yung kino-collect before. And so I had all these Care Bears and Rainbow Bright stickers and
Yeah.
stationery. So that was my collection.
Yeah. Alam mo,
Before.
kanina we were talking about the concept of an inner child, and some psych majors and psychologists or psychologists online, I'm not so sure, we're having conversation about it. But we actually have psychologists on the line. Dr. Camille Garcia is joining us via phone. Doc Camille, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you very much for joining us. Unang-una, Doc, when you see people go into collecting or spending money on siguro yung mga items na hindi talaga may utility apart from bringing joy to oneself, how do you connect that? Yung concept ng healing an inner child through toys or similar collectibles to support one's emotional self?
Okay, when you collect objects, you're often drawn to items that evoke positive emotions or memories. And these objects can serve as a tangible reminder of your joy, your comfort, nostalgia. And when you surround yourself with these items, you're essentially nurturing your inner child.
And Doc, you know, on that point, I'm actually going to turn to our other guest here kasi Kev, you were talking a while ago. We were talking a while ago na sobrang, you're a big fan of the Batman franchise.
Yeah,
and
Batman.
Those were actually the toys that you brought in. When you talk about the joy that comes alongside all of it, what was Batman to you when you're younger, and why do you want to continue that until now?
Well, Batman to me when I was younger was what I wanted to be. You know, how some people want to be lawyers, doctors, or...
You wanted to be Batman?
I wanted to be
Parang
Batman.
hirap ata nun. Oo.
Mahirap nga eh. That's why whatever's closest, whatever can get me to being Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I could connect with it.
Just hang
so.
out by a bat cave. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tsaka you have that dark jacket naman eh, so medyo, you know,
Yeah.
Batman,
Batman vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
Pero, Kev, before I turn back to Doc Camille, when you talk about setting aside a budget for it, because it obviously is an expensive hobby.
Yes.
That's not, let's not beat around the bush. How do you budget for it? And of course, when do you feel na, okay, baka sobra na ata to?
Well, budget is 90% goes to it, 10% goes to clothes,
Wow.
relationship.
90%?
Yeah, 90%. Well,
Okay.
I'm exaggerating, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope you are.
I don't really think about it. Just
Ah.
whenever I have something, I set aside a bit, but most of it goes to collecting.
Kasi some of the toys can be really expensive,
They
no?
could.
Especially the rare ones,
Yeah.
the hard to find.
Collectible items.
Can you tell
Yeah.
us like how much one would cost, for example?
I think
that
these
you
are
bought?
relatively
would be-
affordable. These.
These are relatively affordable. Yeah, they would be 1.7 each.
Okay, that's not too
But
bad.
you have to buy smart. I pre-ordered this, so
Yeah.
if I got them on hand, they would be around 2,100.
understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Doc Camille, now hearing someone spending, I don't mean to put Kevin under your chair at the moment or give a free consult. Pero Doc, when you have people come about and talk about how much they spend on things like this, what do you feel drives them to revisit their childhood in this way, or at least reclaim these moments that brought up so much joy?
Actually, when you talk of your inner child, kasi it refers not only to the child aspect of our personality. Siyempre, of course, when we are faced with a stressful situation or traumatic situations ng bata tayo, parang this is one way for us to be able to, parang it's not necessarily a defense, pero parang it's one way for us to resolve yung mga unresolved conflicts ng bata tayo. So, like, halimbawa, we felt na before we are deprived of this, o kaya naman, we never experienced mga ganitong situations na gusto ko, ganito yung goal, pero unfortunately, wala kaming pera. So ngayon, pag nare-resolve siya, it doesn't matter kung ano yung price, especially if it's connecting. Kasi there are other ways naman where you talk of healing your inner child. Pero somehow, when you talk of collecting kasi, it's more of something na talagang you look forward to na, ay hindi, kasi merong isang dito unique item, rare item. And
Yeah.
you know, sa gardening naman, mahirap naman sabihin, may rare na plant akong makahanap, di ba? Mahirap din yun, expensive din yun. Pare-parehas lang. When you talk of this thing, it's not about the price. It's how you satisfy the inner child.
Doc, you mentioned it a while ago na parang they're trying to do something that they couldn't do when they were younger siguro. Baka they wanted this sort of toy, baka they wanted this sort of gadget or gizmo that they couldn't have in the past, and now parang revenge buying siguro yung ginagawa nila. Is that something that you see more of right now? Alam ko nakita natin sa TikTok, sa social media, that there are a lot of people who are collecting more in general.
Okay, there's this so-called inner childhood wound that can manifest as various emotional and psychological issues pagdating sa adulthood. Kaya minsan pa pwede talaga it happen na you heal by nurturing what you really want. So by acknowledging and nurturing our inner child, we can heal the past wounds and develop a healthier sense of self. Kaya it siguro yung something fulfilling pagdating sa collecting toys or collecting objects or kung ano man yung pwede na sabihin natin that can really enhance or stimulate a healthier sense of self.
All right, ma'am, we're gonna turn it over now to our co-host now holding a doll to heal her inner child.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm getting put on the spot. But I want to ask Kevin actually a question. So Kevin, one of your videos on TikTok was when you were doing an unboxing with the balikbayan boxes.
Yes.
And like we talked about kanina, the guy that posted healing his inner child got a lot of hate. Well, mixed reviews, but mostly I feel like it's hate. What kind of responses have you gotten for your unboxing videos?
Oh, they were actually very positive. It was
Oh, that's
mostly
nice. Wow.
sana all. That's what I got from most of the comments. And what was funny was the comments from my family, like my mom, like, ano na naman yan, dinosaur na naman. Or, pangilan Batman mo na yan, pangilan Darth Vader mo na yan. So
yeah.
that's mostly the positive reaction I got.
That's good. I'm glad though, like that people are saying positive
Yeah.
things. Have you gotten negative feedback?
I have recently, yeah. But,
Recently?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's all good.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to say, it's
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah.
You know what? I checked your YouTube and I saw that you're not just collecting all these superhero figures. You also have a Jurassic Park
Yes.
section. You have all these dinosaurs, right? Where do you draw the line? Kumbaga, parang pag sobrang hirap ba hanapin yung item, you just like give up there na parang, sige, no more healing of inner child here. Sobrang hirap na. And what was the most outrageous collecting story that you have? Like, ano yung pinakamahirap mong tinry na i-collect?
Well, first of all, yung pinakamahirap kong trinay collect was something that wasn't in the Philippines. So I had to tap my dad to get it all the way from eBay in the States, which
Okay,
was like
okay.
a wrestling figure, which was a new version of that
Oh, yeah,
character.
Yeah.
How
Eh,
much did it cost?
It was 4,000 pesos, and I had
Okay.
no work at that
Okay,
time.
okay,
I had
okay.
only allowance, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because Doc, we'll go back to you in just a bit. Pero I want to ask Kev something here that na ako natamaan ako when I collect my jerseys. When people look at it, it's like, what's the difference between the one jersey and the other,
Yes.
or I'm sure one item or the other. Pero just how important is the variety of things that you're collecting? Kasi syempre, we want the newest thing, we want the shiniest thing, or we want the thing that napaka-retro,
Yes.
that only really hardcore fans would understand.
Well, with variety, they keep coming up with better ones.
Yeah.
So, unlike with jerseys, diba?
Yeah.
Like, I follow the NBA.
Yeah.
So, I used to like Vince Carter a lot.
Yeah.
But now there's Luka, and I really
Yeah.
like Luka, and I have to have his jersey as well, and that comes with toys.
Yeah.
So they're gonna probably make this a better version someday.
Yeah.
With more accessories and there's no stopping. That's why my YouTube name is Kevin's Unending Wishlist, is because it never
Never
ends.
stops.
Never
It never
ends.
stops.
I love that name.
Yeah, no, that's true. And can I just say, sometimes the uglier the item, the more I want it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. But I'll explain later on. But Doc, when you talk to people who get to the point that, okay, baka sobra na to, at what point do you draw the line between being obsessed or addicted to a certain habit or a certain spending habit that maybe you could look at it, okay, negative na to eh. How do you help people understand that there is a line that should be drawn and it should be addressed? Doc? All right, so that was an interesting question. Wala si Doc Camille, sayang. Pero Kev, do you feel that? Ayun, Doc, are you back? All right, so I think we still lost Doc Camille. But yeah, how do you draw the line with regards to, okay, baka this might be too much? Obviously, you're smarter with money as you grow older.
Yeah.
Pero when do you draw the line?
Well, there's a set. They're called hot toys, and they're above 16,000 to 50,000. That's where I don't go.
Yeah.
I just collect what I can.
Yeah.
At the scale that I can. So maybe when I get richer, maybe not.
Maybe.
Maybe not, but
No, pero may mga iba, nagko-collect nga ng mga kotse, di ba?
Kotse.
Yeah,
Oo,
yeah.
watch.
So, mga watch. Doc Camille will try again. I think she's there.
Yeah, I'm here na.
Perfect. Doc, we were talking a while ago about drawing the line with regards to when does collecting become more of an addiction and an obsession that actually is detrimental to someone's life. How would you address something like that? How do you identify it? Kasi minsan nagiging habit siya that they don't realize that it's actually becoming something negative and impacting their life in a way that it shouldn't.
You're organized. So typically, there's the collection is you collect in a specific manner, displaying them, and then there's a purpose while collecting. There's also a possibility while collectors may be emotionally attached to their items, it is a healthy attachment. It doesn't interfere with your daily life. There is always control. What collectors have a sense of control. Unlike when you talk about hoarding. Kasi pag sa hoarding kasi, wala siyang control and it becomes a mental health issue. Remember, there's a big difference between collecting and being a hoarder. Kaya alam ng isang collector when to draw the line. Unlike pag naging hoarder ka, you don't know when to draw the line.
Wow, Doc Camille, you've actually caused a few faces to tilt to the side here after you mentioning that there's a difference between collecting and hoarding.
I noticed that it's a fine line kasi between hoarding and collecting. So you can't really tell, nag-hoard
can't
na ba
tell the
ako? You can't.
difference.
Yeah.
We'll
No,
be
when
calling you Doc.
Wait, Doc, sorry, you had a point to make?
Okay, when you say hoarding kasi, disorganize yung mga collection mo. Unlike pag collector
Ganun
ka,
ba?
ino-organize mo yun. Ganun
Oh,
yan,
shoot.
automatic.
Doc,
I figured I'm
Doc,
a
you just
hoarder.
opened up a can of worms that Monique was not ready to answer. But we just want to thank you po for really telling Monique that she needs to see a psychologist, a
Thank you, Doc.
psychiatrist.
I'll be calling you later.
And of course, we want to thank Kevin Casus as well for his insights and his stories. Maraming salamat. Doc, thank you very much for joining us on the line. Kevin, thank you very much for joining us here live.
Thanks for having me.